It wouldn't be the California Hall of Fame if we didn't acknowledge Silicon Valley titans like our next honoree. From an early age, Vinton G. Cerf demonstrated an aptitude for computers and a recognition of their potential to break down barriers in communication. In fact, he even helped write software for the Apollo program as a high schooler. Pretty incredible. Kids, are you listening? Yeah. Throughout his career, Vinton has utilized his exceptional ingenuity and foresight to actualize his ideas. His ability to move from ideation to innovation is most notably exemplified in his development of one of the protocols foundational to what we know as the Internet. Building on this work with his colleague Bob Kahn, Vint connected the dots between communication protocols, laying the groundwork for the global spread of the Internet. And while Vint's pioneering work is monumental enough, he has gone on to share his genius with a myriad of telecommunication giants, government entities, and nonprofits. Since 2005, Vint has even served as Google Chief's Internet Evangelist. And with what many describe as exceptional humility, he continues to shape the development, evolution, and distribution of the Internet and the future of technology. Looks like Superman there to me. Vint and his wife, Sigrid, are both hearing impaired and together have been fervent advocates for bringing more accessible technology to people living with disabilities. What a partnership and what an inspiration, the two of you. Please help me welcome a father of the Internet, the legendary Vinton G. Cerf.
Wow, this is amazing. First of all, thank you, Governor and Mrs. Newsom, for hosting this wonderful meeting. And second, thanks to the nomination committee, whoever and wherever they are, for deciding that we should be recognized tonight. I don't know about you. I'm just sitting here listening to these stories thinking, wow, what a breadth and depth of talent and innovation and energy. But why should we be surprised? It's California. So I came here to California in 1946. I didn't have anything to do with it. I was 3 years old and my father had found work after World War II out in Los Angeles. So I grew up in LA, mostly in the San Fernando Valley. I went to Van Nuys High School and then to two great schools in California, Stanford University and UCLA. And for you Berkeley people here, beat Cal. So here's a piece of irony for you. Three of us that went to Van Nuys High School ended up at UCLA working on the predecessor to the Internet, the ARPANET. And then we went on later to work together on the Internet itself. So I want to say thank you not only to all of you tonight, but also to my family. My wife, Sigrid, raised her two sons while totally deaf. She was deaf for 50 years. She had to lip read. That's all she could do. Until at the age of 53, she got a cochlear implant in 1996, and then she got a second one in 2006. This is the story of assistive technology. This is a sort of a 45-minute operation. They insert the implant, and then you go home for 2 or 3 weeks to sort of everything heals. Then you go back to Johns Hopkins University where they activate you, which means they turn the speech processor on. The speech processor takes in sound, does a Fourier transform to figure out which frequencies are present and in what amplitudes, and then it stimulates the implants, electrodes that are inside the cochlea 20 minutes after they set this up, she picked up the phone and called me. We had a conversation on the phone for the first time in what was then 30 years of marriage. You know, it wasn't a deep conversation, but it was really meant a lot. By the time I got home, I had a 53-year-old teenager at home. I couldn't get her off the phone. She would take calls from anyone. Now, at the time, I was senior vice president of engineering at MCI, a telecommunications company. I was helping them go into the internet business. Sigrid would take telephone calls, and one of them was from an AT&T salesman. And it turned out this salesperson was in India. And so Sigrid was complimenting them on their English and asked, you know, where did they live? Oh, you're in Chennai. And this went on for about half an hour. This poor salesperson, she says, so you're going to switch, aren't you? And she said, no, my husband works in MCI, but thanks for calling. Then she decided that she was going to get recorded books for the blind to hear words that she hadn't heard. So she's on the phone now. She calls up the library and she says, I'd like to subscribe to recorded books for the blind. And they said, fine, no problem, you know, name, address, phone number. And they said, now, you're blind, aren't you? And she says, no, I'm deaf. And there's this long pause where they're... So she listened to 500 books on tape. Now she knows accents and when people are mispronouncing things. She got little microphones and FM transmitters and other. She's the bionic woman. No decibel will go undetected. So she and I both have benefited from these kinds of assistive technologies. I've worn hearing aids since I was 13. Let me tell you, getting hearing aids when you're 13 is a terrible time. Your hearing aids squeal when you're making out, and it's a real, you know, and you don't know, you know, should I take them off? You know, then you can't talk. You know, it's tough. So I realize I've gone way over my limit here, but just a couple of other small things. First of all, I've learned some real lessons in the course of my career. Lesson number one, if you want to do something big, get help, preferably from people who are smarter than you are. And second, patience and persistence counts. It really does. In some of the projects I've worked on have taken 50 years. That's the story of the internet, and it isn't over yet. The interplanetary internet, which we've been working on since '98, is about to be released. It'll be part of the future missions to the moon and to Mars. It's really an exciting thing to do. And that started 25 years ago. So I have to tell you what it's like to be, you know, one of the fathers of the internet. Question number one, did you have any idea it was going to get this big? And the answer is, well, no, but we knew it was really powerful technology. And the second question is, what were you thinking? Well, listen, there is still a lot of work to be done. Every one of you knows that the internet is an imperfect place. It's sometimes a dangerous place, and we have a lot of work to do to make it a safer and better place. I look to Governor Newsom and others who have the ability to pass laws that help us make this a better place. So I will say that you ain't seen nothing yet.